How do you guys navigate that with people saying they don't have time? And how do you delineate, do you not have time or do you not have energy? Do you not have confidence? Do you not have know-how? Or is it like, what's the real issue?
You're able to dig into that more as a coach, the more trust that you've built with the person.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
You know what I mean?
It takes time, right?
It's about saying the right thing at the right time in the right way to the person in front of you.
Welcome to All Can, No Can't, the podcast where we toss out excuses, face our fears, and reclaim control. I'm Jeff Luther, your guide to mastering the chaos and turning obstacles into opportunities. Whether you're an entrepreneur navigating the ups and the downs of building a successful business, or someone ready to rewrite the rules of your life, this is your space to grow, to push boundaries, and to embrace doing the hard shit that leads to greatness. Together, we'll explore stories of resilience, strategies for overcoming, and the mindset shifts that let you build a life on your terms. I use my experience with a life-altering diagnosis to help you find the can in every can't. So buckle up, because it's time to stop living in can't and start thriving in all can. You choose.
Welcome back to All Can, No Can't. I'm your host, Jeff Luther, and this is where we turn obstacles into opportunity. Where we talk about doing hard things, getting honest with ourselves, taking the next step, even when life feels a little bit messy. And today I have the opportunity to talk with Matt Meyers from Nerd Fitness. Nerd Fitness, and I love it. Like, I love this concept. I'm super excited for the conversation. Nerd Fitness was built for people who wanted to get healthier, but felt overwhelmed by all the noise. Like, I mean, it's just intimidating just to go to the gym. The fitness world can make you feel like you need the perfect plan, the perfect body, the perfect schedule, and apparently like a second life, a life where nobody and nothing depends on you, right?
Yeah.
But Matt works in the real world with busy people, parents, travelers, people who have started and stopped more times than they want to admit. His work is about behavior change, strength, mobility, nutrition, play, and building habits that actually survive real life. That's what Nerd Fitness is about. And that's what I want to talk about today. Not just how we get fit, but how we stop turning health into like another thing that we use to beat ourselves up. Matt, welcome to All Can, No Can't.
Jeff, I'm so excited to be here. Dude, you crushed that intro. That was so good. I'm like, can you just introduce me anytime I walk into a room? Like, this is what we do. I'm so fired up right now. So this is great.
Yeah. Well, one thing that we haven't talked about, like, I have known about you guys for a while through a mutual friend, and I love what you do. Like, I'm a fitness student, and we may have time to talk about that. But I know how hard it is. Like, some days the gym becomes your terrorist.
Yeah. Well, and I think there's also just so much, people put so much pressure on themselves. We see it in all aspects of life.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Whether it's in your business, you have to show up 100% for your business. You have to show up 100% for your family. You have to show up 100%. And then you get to the end of the day, you're like, there's 0% left for myself.
Yeah.
And now I am totally drained. I've had an exhausting day. And now you're telling me to go to the gym and work out on top of that.
Yeah.
And we just put pressure on ourselves to be all these things all the time.
Yeah.
We're here to try to be a voice of sanity.
Right.
in the fitness industry a bit is kind of, I feel like, our role now.
And we feel,
because things are getting crazy out there.
Yeah. And I just did a solo episode on this very thing. And this is important to me. Like, we feel behind all the time.
Yeah.
And we live in this world of comparison. And who set our schedule? You know, you have to have an appointment to be late. And we have no appointment for anything, but we feel like we're behind in everything.
Oh, yeah. And people apply that. And, you know, I can't tell you the number of times where I have someone who they miss a workout and they're like, okay, now I'll make that up later this week.
Yeah.
I'm going to do 2 workouts and now 3 workouts. And what happens is it feels like they're pushing the boulder up the hill, where the boulder is getting bigger and bigger. Yeah. And the expectation is I'm going to catch up with everything all the time. Yeah. And it keeps stacking up against them. which is where all this behavior change stuff comes in, where I'm trying to help them put that boulder down and let's find some simpler, easier ways to make fitness work in your life. Because isn't the whole point of fitness is that it's supposed to feel good?
Right.
Like,
that's the thing.
Isn't it supposed to feel good? Not just be like another to-do list, another chore, another thing that you're dreading to do. Like, fitness should help you feel good so that you feel better when you go do all the other things that are important to you.
Yep.
Right? It's supposed to be additive, not another thing that's just draining you.
Right.
So that's the goal, right? If we can help people get that mindset shift and embrace some tactics to make that work for them in their life, I'm stoked. Then I feel like I'm my mission complete, you know?
Yeah. Which brings me, like, you know, you say fitness, like this episode, y'all have to figure out how to title the episode. I don't want to say fitness coach from Nerd Fitness on here because it turns people off. People hear fitness coach, they're like, oh, you know, somebody to yell at me, somebody to tell me I'm not good enough, somebody to tell me do another rep, all this stuff. But Nerd Fitness has found a niche where it's more about helping. From my perspective, it's more about helping. Yeah. So tell me, like, if you could, I guess, summarize, like, what do you do? What exactly do you do from the human side?
Yeah. That's a great question. I would say the biggest thing is that we understand what real life is like. So I work a full-time desk job at Nerd Fitness, right? Like, I'm not in the gym all day.
So you feel it. Job. I feel it.
Yeah. I feel it. I've told people that the best certifications I ever got to be a fitness coach were getting married, having kids, and having a desk job. Those were the three best ones because those actually made me realize I wasn't, when I was 22 and working in a gym, I didn't have the empathy.
Yeah.
And now I understand what it's like to deal with all these things and have lots of stuff going on. Also had a history of crippling back pain, so I can check that off the list of things that my clients deal with and that I understand very acutely. So I think the biggest thing is we just start from a place of empathy and understanding, and we realize that not everybody fitness is not the number one priority in everyone's life. A lot of people who talk about fitness is the number one priority in your life.
Yeah.
And that's cool. Like, I love that. But also, I want to support the people where they're like, hey, I want to be healthy enough. I want to be fit enough so I can go on the hike with my friends, so that I can go rock climbing or play on the floor with my grandkids, and I can access all those things. But fitness is not my job.
Yeah.
So how do I do that? So I think honestly the biggest thing about Nerd Fitness is just that we know what it's like, and we're on the same team. Real
people. And it's interesting that you say that. Like, that's one of my questions, what does enough look like? But that is something that people, like, in my fitness journey, like, I was a competitive cyclist at age 13. So
cool.
I've ran the gamut, so to speak. But I think for someone to say, hey, I want to be fit enough, that's also a mindset thing. They have to give themselves permission to not go to the extreme. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. And it's often hard for people, even when people are asking that question, I think they're trying to get, because I actually have people email into our newsletter and stuff and say, like, hey, what does fit enough look like? How do I know I'm there?
Which your newsletter is great, by the way. I binged it
much.
when I knew we were doing this episode.
Sweet. Thank you so much. And I can give people a general framework for what I think is like a good baseline for most people. And we could talk about the mechanics of that, like what the actual prescription is.
Yeah.
But it's way more of a feeling than it is like a set of tangible results, right? People are looking for certainty that they're in the good.
Yeah.
They're in the green zone. They're like, I want to feel confident and certain.
Yep.
And that often has to come from like, even if I tell them I think they're good, they might still not believe it, right? There's still like this bit of uncertainty. So helping them get there, I think, is a process.
Right. And one word comes to mind also, and I'll speak a little bit more about this, not shamefully almost, comparison. That comes to mind. And one thing that I have tried, so like my kids, I have 3 boys, 21, 19, and 17. And they're constantly, I should do this, I should do this, I should do this. I said, okay, well, should you? If you could remove this one question, what would people think? Then do you feel like you should do that? So I think with fitness, it's a lot of that too. Mm-hmm. And comparison. We see people fitter than us. We see the 6-packs. We see the big biceps. We see the people doing their little cooking show on Instagram with no shirt on. And that's just not
more of the people walking through the grocery store with no shirt on. Those are
right.
That's my nightmare.
Yeah.
Is as soon as I see that they're in a grocery store without a shirt on, I'm immediately skeptical of anything they're about to say.
Right. But at Nerd Fitness, you guys are dealing with that challenge as well, so
Yeah. Dealing with people that have lots of sometimes we even have to put people on information diets.
No
where
kidding.
We have to say,
Tell me more.
Yeah. Oh, just hey, you're getting pulled in a million directions by everything that you're seeing. You're getting influenced, even if you don't think about it. You are getting influenced by all these images, the people that you're seeing on Instagram and TikTok and everywhere. I want you to maybe unfollow or mute some fitness people for a while and see what happens when you stop having all these outside influences kind of influencing how you're thinking about your own journey and where you're at and comparing yourself to the end goal. Because that's something else that we've learned a lot too, is that comparison doesn't just happen it happens for people at every single stage. We have people that don't ever get started on changing their fitness habits because the goal feels so far away. So they're like, I'm so far away. It's going to take so much time and effort. I've seen all these other people do it. It's demotivating. It's not motivating for them. It's demotivating.
Oh, totally.
And then you get to the gym and then again, you're like, okay, I see all these people that are at different points in their journey than me. And do I even belong? And what should I do here? And you start questioning yourself, and it's all these comparison things. So we want to help people reframe that to be you're on a journey. You are going to. This is where the nerd fitness comes in. It's like leveling up in a video game. If you play and every single attempt you make, every single time you try and you go to work out or you go to cook a healthy meal, you're gaining skills, knowledge, and experience.
Yeah.
And that stuff doesn't go away.
Right.
So even if you fall off the wagon for a bit, you're not starting from square one.
Yeah.
You're starting from a place where you have more skills, knowledge, and experience than when you started. So it's like if you played Mario Brothers and you jumped into a pit and died, well, sure, you're starting the level over, but you know where that pit is now. Right.
Yeah. Now you know not to jump in it.
You can jump differently this time. And so if we can get people to kind of embrace that mindset and put down some of those comparisons, it's a really big deal for people.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's huge. I'm a little embarrassed to say, but one of my practices now, some people may identify with this. I've said this before. When I pull up to a stoplight in traffic, I have a tendency, I look at the people around me and I have a habit of looking down at the wheels to see what kind of car they're driving. And I have made a discipline to stop doing that. Yeah. It's just a comparison. What? Yeah. Who cares?
We all do it.
Yeah, it's so weird. But we
do it in fitness. We do it in life. Yeah. We do it I look at, businesses what are they doing in that bit?
Right.
It's natural because, but it's and people even do it to their previous selves. This is another thing. People compare themselves to how they were 20 years ago, and life is different now.
Yeah. Yeah. You show up to the gym now and you can't do 10 burpees when before, you would do 50 burpees in 2 minutes, and now you show up and you can't do 10, and you're like, well, you know what? Just forget it. I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah. It's like, hey, I really like this mantra. Start where you are, use what you have, do what you can.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I like that.
Start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. You just if you can take every day as like just a fresh day, I'm doing what I can today. That's another big mindset unlock for people.
Oh, yeah.
If we can get them to embrace that process.
Yeah.
And again, this all sounds like I understand that this all sounds very theoretical, so I'm happy to get into some practicalities of what does this look like in a actual day-to-day.
Yeah, I've got more.
But it's interesting.
I'm interested in that. I've got more questions around that. But what we talked about earlier, like people that, like you guys deal with, like my audience is mostly entrepreneurs, founders, solopreneurs, people that are busy and smart, capable folks. Like you guys. I guess the question is, why do smart, capable, driven people fail at fitness? And I know that fail is like a non-PC. I'm not supposed to use fail anymore. But why do they fail at fitness?
Yeah, why do they struggle with it? So I could say a lot on this, but let me say one thing and see how this resonates with you in your experience. I think one of the primary reasons people struggle with fitness is that who are successful and smart and they feel capable and they're like, why is this one part of life that I can't get figured out and like dialed in? I've got all these other things dialed in. If work is where you derive a lot of your identity and a lot of your pride in like what you do, and you feel really confident and capable in work, what I would notice coaching people is they'd be like, I had to stay at work late tonight, or I couldn't make it to the gym, or I couldn't do this thing. And I kept noticing that behavior happening. And then I started asking people, well, when you think about staying late at work, like what kind of response do you get? And they're like, well, I'm someone who's supporting my team. I'm pushing the business forward. It's like all these, even though staying late at work might kind of like have this negative context, it actually they were deriving value from it. It was a place they felt valuable and valued.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, how do you feel going to the gym? They're like, I feel like a piece of crap.
Yeah.
Every time I step in the gym, I feel like a piece of crap. And it's like, I wonder in the long run, are you going to stay in the place where you feel like you're really good and driving a lot of value and you're excelling? Or are you going to go to the place where you feel like you suck and that every time you go to the gym, it's a reminder that you haven't been taking care of yourself and you haven't been here? Like, which place do you think you're going to lean towards more often?
Yeah.
So I think that's like kind of some of the psychology behind it. I think the other thing is that a lot of times things that people do in business, I think sometimes backfire in a fitness context, which is a lot of entrepreneurs that I know and work with tend to be very all-in thinkers. All can, no can, right?
Yeah,
all-in thinkers.
Yep. Yeah, that's true.
They also tend to be perfectionists who have very high standards for what the work is going to look like and be done.
Yeah.
Right. It's why I think a lot of entrepreneurs have a hard time handing off work to other people.
Yep.
They're like, I'm just going to do it because I have higher standards for this than my employee is going to have for it. So what happens when you take those super high standards to the gym or to a workout or to whatever? If you're able to go all in and work out an hour 4 times a week in the gym and block off the time, you're like, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
But if I can't do that, any scenario where I can't give it my best is not good enough. So I'm just not going to do it. And so if we can get them to realize that, hey, if work is the priority right now, the gym can shrink we don't have to spend as much time there. We can do a few things that are still and that work is still meaningful. Yeah. That's what I have to end up convincing them, is that you're telling yourself a lie in that's if I don't do at least this much, it doesn't even count.
Right.
And I have to get them to buy into, I can do less over here and it still matters. It's still going to improve my health and fitness in the long run.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like seeing this you got to see the long game, not the short game.
Yeah.
And so then
fitness is like investing. It's like investing, right? The compounding interest isn't going to come back for years and years and years.
Right. Yeah.
It's not something that you're going to do in 3 weeks. If you can get shredded in 3 weeks, you can gain it all back again in 3 weeks.
Right.
Right. Yeah. Like it's not so you really got to play the long game, which is hard.
Yeah, for sure. And then, so that begs the question, like when you have people that have fallen off and are trying to get back on track, you know, we talked about feeling like crap, but how do you coach someone back without feeding like that shame cycle?
Yeah. The biggest thing is that I'm focused on what the next step is, not what the previous step was.
Okay.
So if you say, hey, why'd you miss that workout? That feels very different than, tell me about your schedule upcoming this week. Let's figure out a time we can slot in a workout.
Yeah.
One is looking in the past and I think does bring up more feelings of shame. Now, we can have realistic and honest conversations. I'm not going to shy away from a hard conversation with someone about how their actions might not be aligning with their values.
Right.
What they say they want to accomplish. But the first step of that is just to get them moving again, and then we can have that conversation.
Yeah.
It's way easier to have that conversation after you just got a win, right? Rather than when you feel like you're coming off a streak of losses.
Right.
So my focus for most people, whenever they've fallen off the wagon a little bit or they're struggling, is not to do some sort of big epic, let's analyze everything that's going on. It is to find something that they can do as soon as possible that restarts the momentum. So whether that's doing 10 push-ups after they brush their teeth, or whether that's like ordering a meal for lunch, you know, like from a restaurant that we know, it's like, hey, we're going to get veggies, we're going to get protein. Like let's get a double protein Chipotle bowl, or let's get a salad, or let's get whatever. Like get that. Okay, now I have momentum. I've made a choice showing that I'm the type of person that cares about my fitness and my health.
Yeah.
And then once they have some momentum, we'll talk about, okay, let's talk about how you fell off and what caused that so we can plan better for next time.
Yeah. Dude, that double protein Chipotle bowl, like,
yeah,
that's where it's at.
I mean, if you want to try to get like 70 grams of protein in a single sitting, you can do it.
Yeah.
You can do it. Does that make sense though? Like basically just trying to restart the momentum, restart the engine first before we do some sort of big diagnostic on everything.
Yeah. Why? Yeah. It's like, hey, let's don't have the conversation of why you missed it. Let's go. That's backwards. We're not going that way. We're going forward. Let's talk about your schedule. How do we change this?
Yeah. Talk about your schedule. Talk about what we can do today. Let's talk about, can you give me 5 minutes today?
Yeah. Yep.
Can you give me 5 minutes? Cool. Here's what I would do with those 5 minutes.
And I want to get more into that for sure, because people don't realize that. When all right, so on one of your Instagram posts, I see where you're talking about roughhousing with your kids and the benefits. Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah. And it's so awesome, man. Like, it's so awesome. I miss those days. But you know, you talk about it promotes trust. It builds confidence in your kids. But I want to go bigger than that. And you may not know this answer, but you'll have a better guess than me. When did we as adults decide that movement or exercise had to be miserable and punishing to count for anything? Why can't it be fun?
Yeah. I do think that is a general trend in the fitness industry since the 70s.
Yeah, if you're not suffering, it's not worth doing. Like,
yeah. And there's a little bit of celebration of that, of the suffering. Like if you can get through the suffering, you're stronger,
Yeah.
you're more capable. There's like a little bit of a hardcore mentality in that. And there's some truth to it too, right? Like being able to do hard things is a good thing.
Yeah.
And at the same time, it doesn't need to be any harder. We don't need to make it harder than it already is, right?
Yeah, just putting your damn
at least
clothes
not
on
all the time.
is hard enough. Just
Yeah.
just coming home from work and changing into gym clothes, that's hard enough.
Yeah. So I really, this is like a passion of mine in particular is bringing fun back into your fitness routine. Now, it doesn't mean every workout's going to be fun, right? So like this is the catch 22 here is just, I'm not telling you that if you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong either.
You got a gym full of Richard Simmons.
Yeah, which my mom did Sweat Into the Oldies for like a decade when I was growing up. So I'm very familiar with Richard Simmons. And he was great on Whose Line Is It Anyway? I don't know if you ever saw that episode with Richard Simmons. If not, it's worth finding on YouTube.
All right.
But yeah, I think there's going to be people who for whom that kind of hardcore mentality really appeals to them and they love it and they're going to embrace it and lean into it. That's awesome. I'm not taking that away from you. What I want to do is expand the options that people have available to them. So if that doesn't resonate for you, or if you're already in a super stressed out, intense period of life with your relationship or with your job or with whatever, you might not need another spot. Like fitness might not be another thing where you need to just feel like things are really hard.
Yeah.
It might be a place where you need to go and feel like you can have some fun and some decompression. Some of my most fond memories are working out with my kids. And like, instead of squatting that day, we would be put 2 jump ropes on the ground and jump across the creek, quote unquote creek.
Oh, right.
Right? Or instead of doing push-ups, we're crawling under barbed wire, or imagining like we're crawling under barbed wire together. Or I'm picking them up and throwing them in the air, or we're wrestling, or whatever. That counts.
Yeah.
Right? That all counts. So I think there's a little bit of the hardcore mentality. I think there's also a little bit of if it's not trackable, does it count? Thing that's come in. It's like I want to see reps go up. I want to see weights go up. I want to see heart rate stuff improve. And some of the more quote fun stuff, like play, roughhousing, tag, whatever, is way harder to quantify. But again, doesn't mean it's not important or valuable.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the trends in the fitness industry have been towards hardcore mentality and tracking, and those things sometimes are at odds with just having some fun.
Yeah, and I think
letting that be okay.
I think that's something that traditional fitness culture has gotten wrong. And then I also, I don't know this to be true. I'm not in the environment as much. I work out mostly alone, but also I think people are results driven from an appearance perspective. So wanting to change their appearance.
Yeah. And again, I think that's fine. I think it's good for people. This is another kind of like trend we've seen in the fitness industry is it was very much about aesthetics for a long time.
Yeah.
Then there was like a movement that was like against aesthetics within fitness, where it was like, it's about being strong and capable and whatever, and it doesn't matter this. And honestly, it's like whatever you want to go for, people shouldn't feel shame about reaching for whatever goal. This is like another area where we pour shame into the process or guilt. It's like, I've had so many people that come to us, more so like a decade ago when when it was, and they feel like they can't tell me that they want to lose weight because losing weight is like now a taboo thing.
Right.
But then when they get more comfortable with us, they'll be like, well, I want to feel strong and capable and I'd like to lose some weight. And we're like, cool.
Yeah.
We can work with you with that. That's fine.
Yeah.
And if vice versa, you shouldn't feel like you have to fit into a specific body type because it's like a popular or whatever. Like you You don't have to force yourself to fit any mold. We put so much pressure on ourselves. There's so much guilt and shame and like shoulds, like you were talking about earlier. I should do this. I should look like this. I should.
Yeah.
And if we can take that away, you are going to be healthier and happier.
Right. Yeah.
And the process is going to feel a lot more fun along the way.
Right. Yeah. We should all over ourselves with all the what I should do. You touched on this a little bit earlier, but I have a bigger, or I want to go a little bit further, and this will be helpful for me to hear how you guys coach this. Like I've had people come to me and say they don't have time. Like I'm on a board for an entrepreneurs organization, and I'm trying to get help with members, and they're like, "Oh, I don't have time." I'm like, really? Why don't we all pull our phones out and let's look at how much time you spent on Instagram yesterday? Did that help your business? So let's talk about that.
Yeah, sure.
How do you guys navigate that with people saying they don't have time? And how do you delineate, do you not have time or do you not have energy? Do you not have confidence? Do you not have know-how? Or is it like, what's the real issue? Do y'all dig into that, or do you try to, or you just work from where they are?
It's both. You're able to dig into that more as a coach, the more trust that you've built with the person.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
You know what I mean?
It takes time, right?
So if someone comes in and they're brand new and we haven't had time to build a solid relationship yet, I might, and this to me is the art of coaching. The art of coaching is saying the right thing at the right time in the right way. And it's not about being right. It's about saying the right thing at the right time in the right way to the person in front of you.
Yeah.
And so for someone who's new and maybe we haven't established like that rapport yet, and they're like, "Hey, I really don't feel like I have time," I'd say, "Okay, cool. Thank you for sharing that with me." And I'd probably do the drill of stop me when it feels like this is just, of course I can do that. Right. And so I'll be like 15 minutes twice a week.
Yeah.
Like 15 minutes. I'm like, okay, no, 5 minutes twice a week. 60 seconds.
Yeah.
What level do I get to? And eventually we find something where they're just like, yeah, I mean, of course I could do that much. And then the next question comes up always, but that's not even going to matter. It's like, well, it matters as a starting point.
Yeah.
Because every single person that I've found that starts by blocking out that time, we are making conscious choices around, even if it's 60 seconds, I had to make a conscious choice in my day to stop whatever I'm doing and go do this fitness thing for 60 seconds. Yeah. And I can build off of that.
Yep.
I can build off the fact that you're blocking out that time.
It's like software, right? You have a minimum viable product, so it's a minimum viable activity. What's
fitness? Yeah, exactly. Minimum viable activity, and it all adds up.
Yeah.
And sure, if I could get you to work out for an hour, I'm probably going to get you some faster fitness results.
Yeah.
But this is the thing: is right. What you're describing to me isn't a fitness problem. It's not what do I do with my hour in the gym. It's I'm not blocking out. So it's a behavior change problem first.
As you know, I've been coaching for a little over a year now, and my coach just laid something pretty heavy on me. They've challenged me to have 50 powerful coaching conversations booked within the next 30 days. So if you're feeling stuck or overwhelmed, maybe successful but unfulfilled, or you just need to talk something through with someone that you know will listen, then I would love to have that conversation with you. This is not a tactic. There's no sales pitch. It's just one powerful conversation. This is complimentary to you. So if you want in, send me a message and I'll send you the link. I got you.
So if I can get you to start changing the behavior, then I'm going to be able to layer on, how do we optimize that time for a great workout and how do we do this thing? But I got to get you to start changing the behavior first.
Yeah.
So there's that. I do have clients that I've worked with for a long time where they might even do a time journal for me. And then I don't even have to say anything. if they do a time journal for me for a few days where they went their time, they come back and they're like, yeah,
Oh shit.
I'm spending 3 hours on my phone before bed,
Yeah.
and I'm doing this thing, and I could just go to sleep, and then I'd have more energy to wake up.
Right.
Now, not everybody. Like, everyone has
Sure.
different. Some people are working 2 jobs and have kids at home, and like that. And for those people, it's usually way more about combining activities. So it's like, when can I get the kids to engage in some sort of like fun physical activity together? So we're having the family time and the connection time and some physical movement. If we're watching TV at the end of the night and I'm just pooped, can I do some stretching in front of the couch on the floor?
Right.
And so I'm like doubling up. And if we can start introducing some of those things, that can help too.
Yeah.
For people that are really time crunched.
And one thing I'll add there, which a lot of us as parents may not realize, is, and this is direct experience from me, and I'll share with you directly what I learned with my 21-year-old.
Yeah.
Is that kids, we tell kids, move your body, move your body, move your body, do these things. It'll be helpful for you. You'll be healthy. You'll be healthy. And they hear us, and it might resonate at some point later, but kids model behavior. And if you're sitting around watching TV with your kids in the evening, family time, okay, that's great. That's great that you have the family time. And you decide that you want to just stretch, or maybe do, I don't know, stand and do some yoga poses or something like that. Kids model behavior. That will go miles, and we don't think about that.
Yeah. And make it fun.
Yeah.
You know, we used to joke. So like if we were watching, let's say we're watching a basketball game, or we're watching World Cup right now.
Yeah.
You know, in the evenings a lot, because we're just like so hardcore into how fun the World Cup is right now. But if someone gets a goal or someone takes a shot, my son and I will like scream "muscle men," and we'll like go down and do push-ups together, or we'll run around, or you know, you can have fun with it too.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I think that part is super cool. I think you're totally right about modeling behavior too. We do work with a lot of new parents that kind of hits them like a ton of bricks, where they come in and they're like, hey, I realize that the way I'm taking care of myself is not modeling the behavior that I want my kids to see.
Yeah.
And I want help changing that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
So I think that's a really good insight.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, my experience shares, my 21-year-old kid is a slob, like a slob. And you know, I get up when I get up in the morning, the first thing I do is I make my bed. That's the first thing I do. And I just make sure my room is picked up. You know, everything's cleaned up. Everything. I'm not. You know, it's dusty. It needs to be vacuumed, all that stuff. But you know, everything is cleaned up every day. And with him, I was like, my gosh, you know, this kid is an absolute slob. Like, when he moves out, it's gonna be horrible. Well, we have this separate apartment, and he decided that he was old enough to move into our separate apartment and took it on his own. And I was like, oh man, this is going to be horrible. Like, I'm going to have it cleaned once a week. And he was out there for a couple of weeks, I guess, and he had gotten up and gone to work one morning, and I had to go out there and get something that he had taken from our house. And his bed is made. Like, he's up, he's at work, and his bed is made. I was like, oh my gosh. And then I thought, okay, well, he sees
Proud
that.
moment.
Yeah, it was like proud dad moment for sure.
Yeah, that's cool.
So then, in follow up to that question, what does give me a 5 or a 10-minute win? Just get, like, you know, you have that client that says I don't have time. Give me a 10-minute win. What could be a 10-minute win for them to build some momentum?
Yeah. For almost everybody, I really like starting with movement if I can, because I feel like movement also kind of changes your mindset and gets you in a different headspace too. It feels very, so 5 to 10 minutes. It could be take a walk break while you're at work. It could be get up and we'll do a few stretches, right? And I'll assign them in 5 or 10 minutes. You can do 3 to 10 stretches, right? Like, you can get a lot of stretching in 5 to 10 minutes. It could be a very short body weight workout anywhere, right? Where we're doing some squats, some push-ups, whatever level you're at, like whether that's push-ups off the countertop in your kitchen, whether that's push-ups off the floor. And then we're likely doing some sort of pulling movement too. So I like lower body, upper body push, upper body pull. That's kind of more the technical thing. But if I can get them doing one of each of those three things, we're getting a pretty good total body workout in 5 to 10 minutes. And again, we're building that routine and habits. So that would be one place I would start, either like literally walking, stretching, strength training. You can do it in 5 or 10 minute block. And then on the nutrition side of things, you also can get some really good wins in 5 to 10 minutes. A lot of times when people tell me they don't have time, I might even suggest that we start with nutrition habits first, because they still got to eat.
Oh.
They're going to eat sometime.
No one ever thinks about that.
I mean, I hope you're eating.
Yeah,
you're
no,
eating.
you're
So you still have to
absolutely
make some
right.
decisions around your food. You're gonna, even if you're like, I don't have time to cook for myself. Okay, cool. What choices are you making at the restaurant or at the grocery store, and what are you grabbing on the way out? Let's just see if we can plan out what your next 2 meals you're gonna grab are in the next 10 minutes.
Yeah,
because we could do that. And the more I can move people from reactive decision making, where you're just like hungry, I'm in the moment, I get in the line, I go through the drive-through of just grabbing whatever sounds good, to proactive decision making, where you're like, oh yeah, dinner tonight, I'm going to Subway and I'm grabbing this thing, and I've already made the decision, so I just need to go do it. That is a really powerful thing that you can do in a very short period of time that I think can matter a lot.
So I love that if they don't have time, you start with nutrition. And I'm going to throw this out there, that I use that in sales, where, I want someone's time. Like I'll offer to donate to a charity if they'll give me time, things like that. But I'll also use a meal. Like, I really don't have time. Like, well, you got to eat. How about if I just bring lunch to your office? So conversely, like, people have to eat. So, hey, let's start there. Let's make some good choices with our diet. I love that.
Yeah.
And that's thinking outside the box, which is, that's what Nerd Fitness is about. Like, it's a different way of thinking. Okay, this one might be a hard one, but I'm curious. You've been doing this for like 15 years, right?
Yeah, I've been going on 16 years of coaching now. Yeah.
Okay. So what do you believe now about fitness? Or maybe what advice do you no longer give? Like, let's go to, when you got into this, like, I know you have several different certifications. I know one of them is a strength training certification that I saw.
Yep. Strength training, parkour, mobility, stretching, kettlebells. Yeah, all of it. Yep. I've done a lot of the certs over the years. Yes,
so let's go back to the pick them up, put them down, Matt. And what advice would you give then that you no longer give?
Yeah. The thing that I think about when I was younger is that everything was a nail and I was a hammer. Which I just mean that there was a sense that anything that I had learned, if I had just learned about kettlebells, or you just learn about, whatever, barbell training or whatever. We see this in trainers all the time, as all of their clients' programming suddenly just like
is all kettlebells. It's all barbells.
It's all kettlebells. This is the answer. This is the truth forever. CrossFit, paleo, ketogenic diet now. This is the one way. Like, I have the truth. And what I've learned over time is just the fact that the right tool for the right job, there are many paths to success. So my younger stuff, I would just tell them to pump the brakes a little bit. I would tell them to pump the brakes a little bit, and to it's good to gather all these experiences, but you don't need to solve, not all problems will be solved with one method or one tool or one whatever, and that's okay. So that's one lesson I would say. The other one that I think I learned specifically transitioning from coaching in person to coaching at Nerd Fitness, because at Nerd Fitness, we're online. Our clients are all around the world. We've had clients on all 7 continents. We've scientists in Antarctica to people living in Australia and Asia and Europe and all across the United States. And when I started, because I came from this in-person training background, first 7 years of my career, I thought the thing that I was going to do to help people was I was going to be the best workout writer. Like, I'm going to write the best workouts they've ever seen. They're going to be so nuanced and complex and like all this stuff, and they're not going to know what hit them. And I quickly learned that actually the way more important than any of that was communication. Yeah. Right? That coaching ultimately is about communication, and it's about behavior change, which is why I love all the stuff we've got to talk about today. And how I helped people was being a great communicator, not by being a technical expert.
Yeah.
And sure, the technique expert stuff, that all helped, but it didn't mean anything until I was able to be a better communicator.
Yeah. And we talked about this a little bit about comparison, about fitness and identity. Yeah. When like people ask, okay, well, how do I get in shape? But I think the deeper question is like, one thing for me, there's a big question of people are like, who am I? Like, who am I? And they think about that. Like, I used to be fit. Now I'm not. Who am I? I always like the question, who am I becoming? Because I think that that shapes our behavior for the day and even down to the hour and could even to the minute. But how do you guys help people? Like, how do you help them see the results before they're there? Because you almost have to sell the future self, right?
Yeah. Yeah, like we talked about, kind of compounding interest over time. You don't just like go to a gym and do some sit-ups and all of a sudden you have a six-pack.
Right. How do you get them to see that before they fully show up? Because they have to fully show up to get the results.
Yeah. The biggest thing for me is that we need to track not only results but track effort.
Okay.
And because results are going to be delayed, right? It's going to take some time.
Right.
But if I can show them a system that works for people and how it's going to apply and work for them, and then track like, all right, hey, we did 3 workouts this week. We did, you made sure to get protein in all of your meals this week, or like, you hit your calorie target or whatever the thing is.
Yeah.
You're doing the work. We're going to get there. That really helps. So track the effort, and also highlight the early wins. People need to have some sort of feedback mechanism telling them that they're heading in the right direction.
Yeah.
So, for example, way before you're going to see a six-pack, you're going to see your strength numbers go up in the gym. So I'm going to highlight that they're getting stronger. You might not lose 20 pounds in a few weeks, right? That would be dangerous. Don't do that. I think the way to do that would be like amputate your arm or part of your leg, probably is like what would be required. But we can start graphing trend lines, right? And looking at how things are looking over time and what we expect things to be, and have real conversations about that.
Yeah.
And really, more than anything, reinforce that identity that you are the type of person who's showing up and doing those things. That's why the effort really matters.
That's the win.
Like, yeah. You are. So if I'm going to start by rewarding effort, and then I'm going to try as fast as I can to reinforce it with results that are showing up.
Yeah.
Because if you just keep congratulating effort without there ever being results, people are going to think you're just blowing smoke up their butt.
Yeah.
It's not. It doesn't feel like it's getting anywhere.
Yeah.
So that's the balance. We still need to have realistic conversations about what progress looks like. A lot of times I also have to do a lot of expectation setting for people, though. People think that it's going to happen way faster than it does, right?
Oh yeah.
And it takes time. It takes time to build habits. It takes time to make changes in your body.
Yeah. Like people show up. I mean, I've seen this. People show up and they start the program. They're like, well, what's your goal? Well, in 2 weeks, I want to do my first muscle up. Like, yeah, well, how many pull-ups can you do? Oh, I can't do any pull-ups, but we'll start there. You're just like,
yeah, they just don't. And a lot of times it's just they don't have context. They don't know.
Yeah.
And this is where the information diet we talked about earlier can be helpful, is because they're seeing these people with setting unrealistic expectations across the board everywhere, and can say, hey, based on where you're at with the time that you have to dedicate right now, this is how I see the next steps going. Let's work towards that. Let's work towards that next goal. And I think also like setting goals that are like take 1 to 6 weeks to accomplish at a time is also really important.
Yep.
Helping them translate their long-term goal into a series of short-term goals is very important, so that they feel like
that's their progress.
That's the progress marker. That's the indicator. Yeah. And if otherwise they're going to keep comparing themselves to that end goal that's really far away, and it's going to feel like the progress is so incremental. You're not going to feel good doing it. But I can say, hey, this was the first checkpoint and we hit it. Let's keep going.
Yeah, base camp,
going to be waiting.
Right? You're not going to get to Everest in elite. You have to stop at the base camp. You have to acclimate, and it's ups and downs too. That's one thing that people don't understand with fitness. You might go 6-8 weeks, and it's been this upward trajectory, and then you get in the gym one day, and the squat feels heavy, or the rower is tough.
We're not robots,
right?
So it's not just going to be a straight line. You're going to get sick. Your kid's going to get sick. You're going to be asked to stay late at work. And so this is another really good, I'm glad you said that, because this is another really good concept, is that progress is not a straight line, and periods of maintenance are very important.
Yeah.
So let's say like you had that 6 to 8 weeks that was great, and you felt like you were making great progress, and like progress is going up. Your lifts are going up in the gym. You're either putting on muscle or losing body fat, whatever your target is, what you're working towards. You're feeling really good. I know for a fact that life is going to throw a challenge at you at some point.
Yeah.
And it's going to knock you off track. Learning how to maintain where you're at without sliding backwards is one of the biggest skills you can learn right there. And this goes to the whole thing where like a little goes a long way. You can maintain the strength that you've built over those 6 to 8 weeks on a third or less of the same amount of work.
Yeah.
Right? You will maintain your strength level. So if you're going to the gym 3 times a week, and there's a week where you can only go 1 time a week, you didn't backslide, you held steady.
Right. Just staying flat.
And that's actually a win for that week based on whatever else is going on in your life.
For sure.
And then we'll start stepping up, and then there'll be a period of maintenance, and you'll step up, and there'll be a period of maintenance. But that's how you're building progress up over time, rather than going all in, crashing and burning, falling off, going all in, crashing and burning, falling off.
You had talked about earlier, like, I'm going to write the best workouts, and a lot of coaches are like that. Oh man, I'm going to write these crazy workouts. They're going to be amazing. They'll be so sore. And, so the programming, like how is the programming at Nerd Fitness? It's not like a group board and everyone does the same thing every day, is it?
No.
Okay. Yeah, that's what it's customized.
Yeah. With our coaching is all one-on-one.
Okay.
So we're looking at, sure, we have some like starter workouts. So like if any of your listeners want to just have a place to start or have some quick workouts they can do at home or on the road, we have all that built. But the next step of that is when you work with a coach, we're building you a custom workout based on your injury history and your schedule and your interests and what equipment you have available and what your goals are. And we're trying to dial in for that.
Right. And that goes back to what you said earlier, start where you are.
Yeah. Start where you are, use what you have, do what you can, right? If we can build from there, you're going to be golden.
And then I want to ask a little bit about, so with that being said, it's customizable. Tell me about the community at Nerd Fitness.
Yeah.
Is it like if I if I'm one of your clients, do I get to talk to other clients? Like, do we have a message boards, anything like that, where I can?
We still have Facebook groups and
Okay.
a Discord group that people can join in on and meet other people in the community.
I think that's huge.
Yeah, just to like stay connected.
Yeah.
I would say that this is something that has also changed for us over time. And that we've probably leaned more into in the past couple of years really trying to like figure out how we strengthen the one-on-one relationship and like really show up so that they don't feel like they're just a face in the crowd or
Yeah.
just a number on a spreadsheet. How do we show up one-on-one and make sure they feel like really the personalized individualized attention? But then we host, workshops, and we host other stuff that people can jump in on, live Q&A sessions where anyone from the community would come. And it's interesting because a lot of our coaching clients will come to those. Even though they have access to that one-on-one advice from a coach, they just like being, like you're saying, in the room with other people who are struggling with similar or different things, and being able to hear from other people and connect with each other, I think is very important.
Yeah. Can I put you through a lightning round?
Yeah, let's do it.
I had a lot of questions. So quickly, I've got a few questions here. If we run out of time, you'll let me know. Okay, does that work?
Yep, I'm good.
Most overrated fitness advice.
The one that's coming to mind is move more, eat less, which is like without context means nothing.
Yeah.
So it's not that it's necessarily wrong. It's just that it's not all that helpful.
Yeah. What if I decide to cut my diet in half and I cut 90% of my protein and just keep my carbs?
Yeah. It needs more context. It's not that that advice isn't. Someone comes to you and says, "I need fitness advice," and you say, "Eat more or eat less, move more." Like, you're not helping them.
Right.
You didn't help that person.
Yep.
It's just completely without context.
Yeah.
So I think that's
good. Oh, that's a good one. That was you put some thought into that. Most underrated fitness habit.
I would say movement snacks, which is getting a little bit more traction. I know there's been some more articles and research on it. But just the idea that it doesn't matter if your workout happens all at once. It could happen split out throughout the entire week or the entire day. Like, what matters is how much exercise you did in the course of a week, a month, a year, not how much you did in the course of an hour.
Yeah.
Right. So if you grab some push-ups here, do a little thing here, it all adds up. It all counts. So if you could, that would be my thing, is like take little breaks for movement throughout your day.
Yeah, so I think the most underrated movement is walking.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, people forget.
Most accessible movement.
Yeah.
Awesome predictors for health span and lifespan. If you can walk regularly, I think, I wouldn't argue with you there.
Yeah. So this one is for folks that are already fit or already on kind of the right track. Not for like just the general population as far as nutrition, but the biggest nutrition mistake that people make.
Okay, for someone who's more advanced.
Someone that's more advanced. Someone that's trying to be intentional.
Wasting money on supplements.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's big.
I would say, and I mean, we could talk about it, but like literally most of our clients, unless you have some sort of deficit like that you've gotten in blood work from your doctor, that's like you're vitamin D deficient, you need vitamin D, you're probably fine.
Or unless it's jacked pre-workout.
Yeah, the one that's the most well supported is creatine, right? Creatine is actually really well supported for physical and cognitive benefits, and it's super cheap if you just get the dirt cheap like creatine monohydrate stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that stuff is awesome. Everything else, like, I would just watch yourself.
Right.
You're probably paying for very expensive colored urine because you're just going to be peeing out most of that stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. Is this where you tell me that you have a supplement brand and that I just like totally like harpooned your supplement brand?
Yeah, we're gonna break to get a message from our sponsor, Jacked
AG1,
pre-workout.
Let's go. Yeah, Jacked. Yeah. Don't show this to the sponsors.
Right. What's a small win that counts more than people think? I think you already covered that. Yeah, I think you said that.
I'll give you another one. If we can agree that behavior change is ultimately what is going to lead to the fitness changes that you want, right?
Yeah.
That like behavior changes underlying the fitness thing.
Yeah.
Then a behavior that I think is really powerful is calling out your emotions or your mental state a couple times during the day.
Oh.
So literally just like you're in the middle of your day and you're like, I'm super stressed. I feel like I just want to reach for a candy bar and just like scroll on my phone. And you call it out, and that enables you to start having a little hook from which you can start rerouting that behavior. So just noticing what your mental state is a couple times a day, I think, is really important.
I think that is a huge win. If you can consciously acknowledge that. You're searching for dopamine, right? To make you feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's huge. What's one sentence that someone needs to hear when they feel like they're starting over again?
I would kind of go as a callback to earlier in the episode, would just be you get to keep all the knowledge, skills, and experience from your previous attempts.
Yeah.
You're never starting from zero.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
like
It's part of the journey.
that or you know, welcome to the club. There's 5 billion of us. We've all been doing this. You know,
Yeah.
You're not alone.
Yep.
You're not alone in this. So,
All right, so a little more brevity, I think, for the person listening right now. They feel tired, behind, out of shape. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how long it's been in yours since you've been there. Maybe a little embarrassed that they're not as fit as they used to be. What is one step that you would ask them to do today?
right now.
Yeah.
I've literally done this with clients when I'm on the phone with them when we're talking. Go do a few push-ups, like literally, if you're capable.
Well, they can do countertop push-ups.
Yeah, countertop. You can do them off the wall. You could do them off the countertop. You could do whatever. But just get a win.
Yeah.
Get a win. It matters. It's going to build up. The more you can stack those wins on top of each other, the more you're going to start feeling like someone who's investing in yourself and in your fitness and health.
So you've been great to talk to, and also like our philosophies align. You know, you just take that small step. But for people that are out there listening now that are struggling, because I for me working out, and for you probably working out is different. It's more of a habit than anything. You know, I've gotten it's just part of my routine. But for people that are not and they want to get back into it, like you're really easy and you're really. I can identify with you. Could we expect that? Is that the culture of nerd fitness?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like, we mentioned this before. I'm going to end up giving, but Steve, our founder, founded Nerd Fitness with this philosophy. I know that you have, what is it? 1 degree removed, or you've met Steve before in the past. And he set the culture to be this. We're really focused on helping people, meeting people where they're at, and helping them figure out what the next right step is. So if I've done my job, so I run Nerd Fitness now. I'm the head of the coaching program. I run day-to-day operations for Nerd Fitness. So if I've done my job, then every single team member, every single person who interacts with Nerd Fitness, is going to have this exact same approach, and I'm confident we do.
Okay.
So, if you're someone out there who's, people get stuck at many different points. You could be stuck feeling like, hey, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm overwhelmed, I'm overloaded, my schedule's super busy, I don't know what to do. We can help you with that. We have some simple nutrition habit guides and workouts that you can do at home. We'd love to give you those as a thank you for just hearing me out today. You can come to nerdfitness.com, and there's a little form you can fill out on our homepage, and it lets us know who you are and what you're looking for help with, and we'll send you the resources that are right for you, rather than just shotgunning like some generic thing at you. We'll try to point you in the right direction.
Yeah.
If you're someone who's just struggled to stick with it, you start strong and fall off, we've got something for you. We've got stuff on building consistency and building habits. If you're someone who's already been putting in the work, but you feel like you're not seeing the progress that you want to see, we got you. Those are the things. Those are the three biggest problems that people come to us with. They're like, I'm not sure where to start. I don't know what to do. I'm having trouble sticking with it, and I'm not seeing progress.
Right.
So everything that we build is built around helping you solve those three problems, and we'd love for you to come over and check us out.
And I'll add too that I've been through your site, and the questions that you ask for matching folks with a coach is not like, what's your squat or what's your bench press. It asks about your fitness, what you want, but it also asks about your personal life. Like, how do we pair you up with someone that matches your personality? So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, because, and I think this would be my, I don't know if you have other questions, but this would be my note on that, which is just, especially in a world of AI and information right now, you could go to AI and ask it to write you a workout program, and it's going to be okay. It's not going to be terrible, but what we've seen is that there's a group of people out there that still really value having a relationship with someone, and someone on the other side who they know is a real human who cares and wants to see them succeed. And that level of care and accountability I think still matters. And in fact, I think it's going to matter even more.
Oh, yeah.
The further and further we get into the AI world, there's going to be things that you love AI for and that simplify things in your life. And there's going to be other places where AI feels hollow.
Yeah.
And like you're talking to a robot and not a real person. And I think there's going to be a desire for real personal connection. And so we aim to be that within the fitness industry. And so, so we want to know more about you and actually think about you as a human, not a series of ones and zeros.
Right. Yeah,
that
exactly.
We're responding to.
Awesome. Matt, you have been great. We've had Matt Meyers from Nerd Fitness, and this is what I keep coming back to is like, most people don't want another reason to feel bad about themselves. They just need kind of a way back. And to hear you say it, that could be a 60-minute workout. It could be 5 countertop push-ups, maybe in a walk around the block. So thank you for making it simple for us. And if for those of you listening, if this episode hits for you, if you know someone that's trying to kind of make their way back, that is nerdfitness.com. You can go there. There's workouts that they have on there for getting back on track, and there's also a very easy form to fill out to find a coach or a program that works for you. So this has been All Can, No Can't. I'm your host, Jeff Luther, and we've had Matt Meyers with Nerd Fitness. And until next time, I can't wait to see all of you. Thanks for showing up.
Thanks for listening to All Can, No Can't. If today's episode resonated with you, remember, it's not about the chaos you face. It's about how you choose to take back control. It's about finding that one small can in the can't you're given and grinding it down. Find your angle, carve your place out in the world, and get the fucking win. Do that by finding what you can do and not listening to what you can't. You choose. Be sure to subscribe, share, and leave a review. Your support helps me reach more people that are ready to embrace the all-can mindset. And it lets them know there's someone that's willing to walk with them no matter how dark the path gets. You can find me on Insta at JDLuther 2.0 and allcan_no can't. This is where I share more tips, stories, inspiration to help fuel your journey. And until next time, keep pushing boundaries, breaking limits, proving to yourself that anything is possible, even when you're told it isn't. Remember, life's not about can't. It's all can. Go prove them wrong.